thanks for joining us here in person. I appreciate you joining us. I think that, for us, we just work on this project one day at a time, but all of a sudden 5 years have gone by since we really started and made the decision that we were going to do a layer 1 blockchain to bring in all the expertise of the Partisia team in the field of advanced cryptography solutions, and also to solve the blockchain trilemma, which is decentralization, scalability, speed, cost, and then extending that with privacy. Use cases like this wouldn't exist if you couldn't give a level of privacy to the users. So that's what sets us apart and makes NGOs willing to work with us, is that we have a more advanced solution that can tailor to their needs. And yesterday I was on a panel here at TOKEN2049, and one of the questions that they asked was, when you're selling your technology, what's the big value prop, or what is it about blockchain that you really can use to drive a sale? And what I said is, in this case I cited specifically, when you look at what the blockchain can do when it comes to increasing transparency and trust, the numbers speak for themselves. So the sale is not, you're not selling air. You can point to the fact that when you remove cash and give aid in the form of QR codes in a private smart contract, which you can have visibility into, analytics, have enough control where an institution can comply with regulations, be able to work with regulators, banks, and it's not just a total free-for-all. Now you have a system where, as Kurt mentioned, you can improve the delivery of your aid by 20 times. So the effectiveness of that money, it's not being lost through the supply chain because you can't track cash. You're able to really follow the trail of the aid and make sure your beneficiaries are getting the aid they're supposed to receive. So improving efficiency, and the bottom line is an easy sell because it's just numbers, right? So that's what the blockchain can do, is it increases transparency, trust. And so for us, having these 5 years since we decided to do this, to being able to build it, having the mainnet launch in June, and now actually seeing real use cases like this coming to fruition, we're entering a new stage of the project that's getting a lot more, it's starting to kick in that, okay, now it's tangible, right? So I think what drives Kurt, he said this before, is to see the use cases that get to come on to the technology. So with the flagships like the International Red Cross project, it's a great step in the right direction that we are deploying with, world-class organizations, blockchain solutions that are gonna, improve the enterprise's systems, but in the end, most importantly, the end user, the beneficiaries, are also going to see huge results from something. So it has impact beyond money or business. It also is helping, the people who need it the most. To build off that, we're launching the developer program. And our blockchain isn't about only having institutions partner with us and work very closely with us. It's also about open source technology for the greater ecosystem to benefit from and also build amazing use cases. So we have, the foundation did a pretty successful job in raising its first funds. So we ended up completing a $55 million funding round from contributors to the Partisia Blockchain Foundation. We're based out of Zug, Switzerland. And now that we launched the mainnet, and we're sort of accelerating to bringing projects onto the blockchain. So we're announcing that we're launching a hackathon, but within this hackathon is actually the beginning of a grants program. And this grants program is going to be specifically targeting from now until the end of the year. So these next few months, we're going to be onboarding projects. We partnered with an amazing organization called Data Natives. They've done ETH hackathons. I think they did a Solana recently, is that right? And previously they were Web 2, so they do huge Google hackathons, Microsoft, and they're kind of getting into Web3, we analyzed a lot of good potential partners. And what we liked about them most is there's this pool of Web2 developers that are fantastic, that are really interested to get involved in Web3. So they've been able to bring this huge ocean of new developers that also are interested beyond just the existing blockchain developer ecosystem. So with that said, for the remaining time this year, coinciding with the hackathon, which will be in Paris on November 30th through December 3rd, we will be giving out about $1.5 million in developer grants and prizes. You don't have to attend the Paris hackathon. It's not the traditional hackathon in a sense where everyone shows up and hacks for 72 hours straight from scratch. Projects can get started now. We have an onboarding system. You can just go to partisiablockchain.com /hackathon and register your interest. We do have a few focus areas, which you can read more of the details on the sign-up form. Privacy in the Web3 data economy, DeFi for world financial inclusions. Just some examples, we have a trade finance application that's opening up lending on trade deals. There's a $2 trillion trade finance gap, which basically means small, medium enterprise don't have access to lending in the trade economy. So if you're a Chinese toy manufacturer exporting toys to an Ethiopian importer, these can be long-standing, credible businesses, but HSBC won't give them credit lines. So you can open this up to the DeFi economy and think of like a new Uniswap that's addressing real-world economy. So this is part of the graduation of Web 2 economies into Web 3. That's just one use case that we know is building and seeking a grant. But privacy-preserving applications, also, we're open to anything, but our focus areas based on our private smart contracts are encouraged. So the grant awards, basically we're giving $125,000 to the top prize. And it sort of tiers from there. But there's going to also be bug bounties on some of the smart contracts. There's going to be smart contract bounties if you're not building a full application, but you can build useful privacy-preserving smart contracts. There's going to be rewards for that as well. And so, that's today's announcements. So, as mentioned, we're going to circulate this in the next few days to all of our channels. And I think that you're going to see a lot of progress from now through the end of the year. We've really been building. The infrastructure is there. When you read our white papers, all of our features are now in production. So you can really, as a developer, take advantage of MPC-powered privacy-preserving smart contracts, a sharded layer 1 for scalability of your applications. Peter even announced at our board meeting that they're having fully homomorphic encryption smart contracts coming soon. These are all things that the top cryptographers in this blockchain space talk about and preach about and say that they want to get live on their networks. We're proud to be able to deploy this. And it's going to be amazing to see the use cases that come out of this. So thank you, everyone. And it's been a pleasure. And
so I guess we have some time for questions. So if there are any, please
any questions?
Speak up.
No?
Are there any other things to do for the hackathon program?
In what regard?
Continue BD, or is it just as?
So it's focusing on applications deploying on our mainnet, smart contracts that are using the partnership we have with Polygon, where you can do private smart contracts that bridge your Polygon dApp with Partisia blockchain. And then there's going to be bug bounties in some of the contracts we put out. So it is focused on developer grants. But if you are in business development, you love this technology, and you think you could be a part of our team, we are hiring. So please visit the partisiablockchain.com, go to the careers page, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and maybe just to add to about the technology, that we are building sort of these components that you can come in as a team and you can put them to work in your existing applications. So one thing that we did not talk about here is actually one of the biggest driver for the business model, which is the token economy, which is bring your own coin. So when you pay for using this network, you're not paying with what we have, the MPC tokens. You're actually paying with ETH or with ADA or wherever network you already have your applications on. You're using that to those tokens to pay for the use of the network. This creates sort of a decoupled token economy and align us in the economic sense, like any layer 2, even though we are a layer 1. And the advantages of us being a layer 1 is that we can completely control the protocol and make sure that people are using the right MPC protocol, that we have the right nodes running these, and they do it the right way, which is a lot harder when you build directly as a layer 2 on existing blockchain. And part of that is we very much believe in what is known as combinatory innovation. So having these sort of bits and pieces that you can add to existing solution and thereby improving them is kind of a way forward for us. So we have like private voting, we have private bidding schemes and private swapping and many other things. So just one example, if you're familiar with the DeFi, the typical DeFi solution is Uniswap, and one of the issues there is front running. So what happens is that you're placing an order in that smart contract, and those that implement that order is the node operators. So they actually see what you're about to do, and then they can place another bid in front of you and buy it cheap and sell it high. And that's not supposed to happen, right? So with just adding a little bit of privacy to that, the node operators, they will not know whether the price is going up or going down when they implement a swap. And that sort of solves a problem that people talks about. So just one example of how you can add this type of privacy to solve existing problems with in the DeFi economy.
The private voting use case is super interesting.
Yes.
I'd definitely like to see that come out of the hackathon.
For sure, for sure.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up.
Yes.